Why are North Atlantic Europeans the most envied people on the planet? "78% of Irish women feel safe walking home alone at night." Prior to 1965 perhaps, most of the UK, in fact, I'd say all of the UK, virtually all of the UK, had a same or similar kind of safety index as Ireland has now. And if anything, the safety index for women and children has deteriorated enormously. It's completely flipped from one extreme to the other. Ireland has proved men are not the problem. The problem is social and political. When you've got one part of the UK where 1 in 4 children are telling everybody they've been abused, then you know that you've got a serious problem when you compare it to the safer Celtic regions of the UK, where you would have to be born when Napoleon was retreating from Russia. In other words, 210 years ago at least, before you were ever likely to experience one instant of abuse. Ireland has just as many, proportionately, as many men as everywhere else. So what's the difference? For one thing, these men are brought up in kindness and love from their family, usually quite a large family, if I'm honest about Ireland. And they're also protected, provided for, they're taught to respect and take accountability for their actions. They also have a great deal of respect for other people who are equally honest and trustworthy, which is the big thing. It is the word, to be trusted because of your honesty. Those people I was talking about, who were brought up in kindness and in love, with responsibilities and accountability, etc., etc., have now found themselves living with people who were raised in hate, to despise and loathe everything that we stand for, everything that we believe in. Now, that is nothing to do with race. That's to do with the sociology, the social environment those people were brought up in. Very, very brief story just to illustrate the point. I was talking to, when I was a professional youth worker, I was talking to one young guy who said something pretty derogatory about Catholics. And I said, "Why do you talk like that?" He says, "Because I was brought up to believe that you're not a man unless you hate Catholics." When we talk about sectarianism, they are the same race of people. People should take accountability for their own actions. They're not responsible for the hardship and everything else that goes on for people who are not their responsibility. They have people who are their responsibility. There was a guy asking me for money on social media, and I said to him, "Why do you want my money for these young children who are orphans? Where are the fathers? Where are the parents? Where are the people who should be providing for them and are accountable for their very existence? They're responsible for those children being born. Where are they?" And he got back to me and said, "You're absolutely correct." He says, "A lot of the fathers have moved to Britain." So that was why these people were asking me for money. At least he was honest about it, and so I did respect him enough to donate to his cause. But he took it on board that it was really someone else's responsibility, not mine. So it's got nothing to do with racism. It's about the sociology of the problem.